ahead and tell us about your trade, Steven.
So I'm not saying this is a good idea. It's just an idea. And I just wanted to put it out there for your guys' reaction because it would be kind of controversial. But I was trying to think of a
I'm gonna
way.
clip this and tag John Lynch.
Huh? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna clip this and tag John Lynch. Hey, take notes, John. Get it done.
I was trying to think of a way to get Miles Garrett on the Niners. I know,
I had a
I know that I know that he's made comments about he doesn't want to stick around for a rebuild and who knows what's going on in Cleveland and all that. I was like, how could the Niners get him without having to give up much value? And then
How can I get a cheap Ferrari?
ideal trade scenario.
then here's what I thought of. But I don't know if they'd be willing to swallow the poison pill of we'll take Deshaun Watson off your hands
Oh God.
with all that guaranteed money if you give us Miles Garrett. And like of course they'd have to throw in something to send their way, like a seventh round pick or something, but basically like we will you want to rebuild, we will let you out of the worst decision you ever made, and maybe they never even play him. Maybe they don't intend to play him, but it's just part of the cost of bringing in Miles Garrett. And if they can get the Purdy deal done, and they're able to do some, they have $50 million of cap room that they're rolling over from last year. So I don't know how many years Watson has left on his deal. I think he's probably got at least 2. And I don't want Deshaun Watson. Please don't
I know.
misunderstand.
Sounds like it.
No, I don't want Deshaun Watson. But
Steven's like,
it's my quarterback.
yeah, that's my yeah. But would that be worth it? Would that is it worth tempting fate and angering the football gods to get Miles Garrett teamed with Nick Bosa to just pay Deshaun Watson to do nothing and go get massages somewhere?
Oh, God.
okay, so let me try and understand this. So the Niners are going to they're going to sign Brock, but they're going to keep his cap number real low.
Yep.
Then they're going to tell the Browns, we're going to take Miles Garrett from you, but we're not giving you shit for draft capital because what we're also going to do is take that massage therapist, assaulter,
Yep.
and we're going to bring him over and we're going to take that entire cap hit that you guys are dealing with. We're going to take that too.
Basically.
And that's why you're doing this trade, and we'll give you a 6th round pick.
Yeah, maybe you negotiate something where they still pay part of it. I don't know because I don't know what that number is. I know it's a big number, but the idea is we are giving you an opportunity to get out from under that. Nobody else is going to do that. We are giving you this opportunity, and you can use those resources to go rebuild your team like you want to do, but it's going to cost you Miles Garrett. I mean, it's kind of like the thing.
But how would they rebuild though? Because they wouldn't have any draft capital to rebuild with. You would just free up some cap space for them.
Yeah, exactly. They have more cap space to go sign young impact players.
Okay.
I mean, wasn't that sort of what happened with the Jared Goff trade, where like the Rams had to throw in a first rounder to get the Lions to take him and his new big contract? So, anyways, like I said, I didn't say it was a good idea, just an idea that I had of how can I get Miles Garrett on the Niners without having to lose anything of value.
Well, it's creative. I'll give you that.
Very. All right. Here's how you modify it. You tell the Browns, we'll take the Deshaun Watson cap hit. You're going to keep Deshaun Watson. We do not want him. He's going to stay a Cleveland Brown. We'll just pay him to be a Cleveland Brown. And to do that, we'll take Miles Garrett.
Honestly, that would be fine with me, because what I was thinking was if you do that deal and if you get him to agree to it, you
bring him in and cut him.
Yeah, well, not necessarily cut him. You just tell him, look, Deshaun Watson, we think you're a reprehensible person and we don't want anything to do with you. You are never going to see the field. We are never going to have you out here on practice or anything. Like you're not going to be anywhere near our organization. You'll be able to sit back and collect checks. But if you want an opportunity to try to go prove yourself somewhere, then let's negotiate some sort of buyout. If you don't and you want to just waste away and you ready to call it a career, okay, you're going to get your money because it's a guaranteed deal. But let's negotiate something else where we'll let you out if you give some of that money back. That's kind of how I would take that stance with him. Because
Let me be clear, Deshaun, you are not a 49er.
you are not playing for our team. Yes. Unless you want to say you you can be our backup, but I don't really want to say that. But there would be worse backup quarterbacks. I just feel like you're inviting so much trouble with
Well, and as you guys know, he just like messed up his Achilles again. He had to have surgery again, so he's probably not even going to be ready to be a backup. If he
that's
was
part
a
of
backup, it'd probably be a 2026 backup.
that's part of the poison pill that you're swallowing. It's all about getting Miles Garrett. It's the fact that he's not gonna make an impact for your team, and the only reason you're doing it is, and maybe it's a bad deal, but still, like I said, I was just trying to think of a creative way because I don't know who the Niners could trade to get Miles Garrett. Um, it would
Well, they
probably
probably wouldn't want a player. They would want picks, right?
it would probably be picks, and I don't really want to part with picks, and but at the same time, I know that you might have to, and we do have a bunch of picks. The only way
The other thing is, sorry, go ahead.
Well, see, the only way that the Browns are going to give him away for like the Trent Williams thing is if the situation really sours and
Yeah,
he like makes it clear I am not coming back. But I feel like there would be other teams that would be willing to give the Browns more than what the Niners would be willing to give up. So that's
yeah.
why I feel like you gotta go big. You gotta think outside the box and be like, we'll do something that nobody else is willing to do because we think this gets us that sixth Lombardi, having Miles Garrett and Nick Bosa on either side of the line.
So in this scenario, though, who pays Miles Garrett?
The Niners have to pay him too. I know.
Oh
That's the
my
thing.
gosh!
Yeah.
So now they're paying like 45 million, or the Browns will pay him like 2 million. So the Niners are paying like $43 million plus whatever Miles Garrett makes.
And maybe you can work out some sort of extension with him too. Like I said, I didn't.
Holy crap!
It's not like I've gone through and looked at all the numbers, and I don't even know if it's possible. But yeah,
Yeah.
Parag can figure all that stuff out. That's for him to work out the contract stuff.
What do you think, Jason?
I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't even, it's like nothing I've ever heard of. I would say no.
All right,
That's just way too much money to be giving because it's essentially we're paying all that money for Miles Garrett
right.
and 40 plus for an edge rusher.
He's like a $60 million edge rusher now.
Yeah, that's going to be insane. And then we won't be able to re-sign Dre Greenlaw or whoever else we want to re-sign or bring in. I think it's too much. I don't think we should not pursue him, but I don't think that would work.
Yeah, no, I hear
I
you.
think Jason would rather just give up premier draft picks and stay away from that toxic poison pill, even if the chaser to chase that pill down is delicious.
Totally get it. And like I said, I was just trying to think of something outside the box because it wouldn't cost the Niners. Like if it doesn't work out, that sucks. You just spent a ton of money, but all you're really losing is money because you still have all your picks that you can, rebuild with all those picks and be like, well, we gave it a shot. We took our swing and we struck out, but at least we're replenishing with, cheap labor.
Is Miles Garrett going to be able to give a list of teams that he'll accept a trade offer to the Browns? Like, how much leverage is he going to have here? Because I know players do that a lot. I'm sure the Niners will be on that list, especially now that they have Robert Saleh.
I don't
He
know.
won't have a no trade clause, but he will say, you can trade me to the Raiders. I'm not playing for the Raiders. So then the Raiders are going to say, well, we're not trading for you. So he can kind of manipulate it that way. But at the end of the day, if he were to get traded to a team he doesn't want to play for, like he has to kind of take that. All he can do is pout and throw a fit and make that team that he doesn't want to play for not trade for him.
Yeah.
Similar to like the Hassan Reddick situation.
Yeah.
Oof. That was ugly.
Which, by the
Yeah,
way,
it can get ugly.
he's a free agent.
I know. No, thank you.
I know, but
Give me Leonard Floyd back over Hassan Reddick, honestly. At least I know Leonard Floyd will go out there and try hard.
yeah. Isn't Leonard
It,
Floyd still signed? I thought he signed a 2-year deal.
Good question. I don't know.
I'm pretty
no,
sure,
Leonard Floyd has 2 more years. I'm
yeah,
almost positive.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure
probably
Leonard
not
Floyd
2 more years. I don't think they gave him a 3-year deal,
I
yeah,
thought
but he
they
might
did.
have 1 more year.
I'm pretty sure he's
You
still a Niner. He's not
you
gonna.
looking that up, Jason?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Um, yeah. The I'm hoping Robert Saleh recruits some Jets players and Boyer as well. Bring some of those special teamers, those defenders over because we could use some reinforcements.
Yeah,
It's a 2-year.
it,
Floyd's back.
I just
Nice.
feel like it's real like to get somebody of real impact. It's just going to cost you, like you said, premier picks and stuff that I don't like. I'd rather have them make those picks and try to develop the next one. Like that's that's kind of my problem, I guess, with the Max Crosby situation. Is like I feel like it's going to be incredibly expensive to get him because he's got a good contract for the type of player that he is. And I think he's signed for 2 more years, so like, of course, teams are going to want that, right? So it just feels like it's going to be too steep in terms of the compensation to go get a guy like that. But if you could, you got to find the bargain, I guess. And I don't know that there's a lot of bargains to be had.
What you kind of want is like you don't. I'm not saying I already brought him up, but Sauce Gardner, like he has. You want the defensive tackle version of Sauce Gardner, where he's still really young. So if you give up the 11th pick for him, you're still getting him for multiple years on a rookie deal. You could franchise tag him if you wanted to, or even if you don't want to, he's just a really good player for you for 2 or 3 years, and then you don't have to pay him. You trade him and recoup something back. Maybe you don't get a first or a top 10 pick, but maybe you get a high second round pick or something. So you could go that route. Not saying you actually do that for Sauce, but you find that edge rusher version or a defensive tackle version of him, someone who drafted someone high who's only had him for a year or two, but they just fired their coach. They need to rebuild, and they're like, well, this guy's valuable, like Trayvon Walker or something of the Jaguars, but I don't think he's worth it.
I was going to say, so you want Jalen Carter, but unfortunately, the Eagles aren't going to part with him.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would want Jalen Carter.
Why not? He's a stud.
He killed his teammate in a race and then drove away and left him to die.
Jesus, I didn't know that. Holy crap.
Yeah, I saw.
That's why he's an Eagle. He should have been drafted top 2 or 3,
Yeah.
but he fell to 10 or 11 because he's a fucking horrible human being.
Oh, wow.
And
I
so are
didn't
the
know that.
Eagles fans, so they don't care. But
Yeah, and they were happy to have him. So
um,
yeah, I'll take my chances with a rookie. I don't want Jalen Carter.
I hear you. I mean,
And you'd have to find that player on a rebuilding team. Like that's why kind of Max Crosby's interesting because like, do they want to try and reset, or do they want to use Max Crosby as the guy they build around? So
see, I feel
it's
like
tough.
I feel like with Pete going there, it's more likely that they're going to keep Crosby because
Yeah, I would agree.
he's going to want guys like that.
What about Quentin Williams of the Jets?
He's too expensive now.
He's super expensive, and their coach is going to want him.
But yeah,
and Sauce, like that's what he wants to build around.
But he would be amazing.
Yeah, you would have to find someone who's only been in the league for like 2 or 3 years, who you can get a few more years left on their rookie deal.
Or you try to go get a proven commodity that a team knows they're not going to keep around for a while. Like that was kind of the Miles Garret thought, which maybe they can put together a package for a guy like that. But I just think it's going to be too expensive of a package. But you know who Robert Saleh used to say was the best player on the Niners when he was there?
DJ Jones?
Defoe?
Defoe.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about bringing somebody home. Like, yeah, I remember somebody said something like it was in a press conference once. They're like, Buckner, I think Buckner is maybe your top defensive player. And he's like, Buck is our best player, period.
Yeah, maybe. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And I was like, Like he's like best player period on the team. I was like, hell yeah, solid.
Yeah,
But
he would certainly be a lot cheaper to acquire
well, you think
than
you don't
Miles
know,
Garrett.
right? Yeah, the Miles Garrett. Yes, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, if Miles Garrett gets traded this offseason and it's like, yeah, he went to so and so for two third round picks and it's not the Niners, I'm gonna be like, dude, two third round picks. Now if he goes for like a first and a second or something, then it's probably too much, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it will be interesting to monitor that situation. It's funny you said DJ Jones because I think he was another guy who had like a reaction to the Sala news.
I know
Did
a
he?
bunch of Niners around the league kind of perking their eyebrows up like,
Yeah.
Salah's back, huh?
Oh, Sala.
Niners don't not a bad option over there all of a sudden.
Where's the
Getting the band
shark?
back
Is
together.
he going to want to come back? K1 still floating around?
Where is K1? I wonder because like Salah knew how to call that nickel blitz. I wonder if Demo is going to set a career high in sacks next year. That's going to be my prediction.
Be awesome.
He's going to have like 5 or 6 sacks getting blitzed off the edge because Salah knows how to dial that one up. And Demo could do it. He's a
Oh,
young feisty K1 Williams for sure.
oh,
Probably a better player too.
DJ Williams is a free agent.
You mean DJ Jones?
Oh yeah, what did I say? Yeah, DJ Jones is a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
But he's
Not
available.
anymore. He's a 49er now.
Yeah.
Dang right.
That'd be
I think
awesome.
he had a really good season last season too, if I'm not mistaken.
You remember early in his career, he would flash, but he was always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then he spent 4 years with the Niners. The first 2 years he was hurt a lot. Year 3 he got healthy and he really looked good. And then year 4 was like, whoa, this guy's really good. And then he was gone in free agency.
Yep.
I still remember the play when Russell was like, and it's still like prime Russell, and he was scrambling, and DJ just shot out of a missile, all 330 pounds of him, and ran him down. I was like, what the hell? He looked like a linebacker running him down.
My
He
favorite
was athletic.
My favorite DJ Jones play was when he just tossed the Seahawks center. Like he was just like a little kid. He just got such a good jump and got low on him and he just threw him. I've never seen an O lineman like get thrown backwards like that.
It was like once or twice a month, the other team would snap the ball, and by the time the ball's in the quarterback's hands, he's in his lap. Like he would blow through the offensive line so quickly.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it was incredible. Yeah,
He
bring
was
him back.
Bring him home.